Interested in politics, entrepreneurship, culture, art, and lifestyle? Join me, Clyde Vanel, as we get stories from around Queens, New York State, and the world on Clyde's Corner. This year, I got to interview a number of political titans in New York State. In this video, I'll give you a recap of some of those videos. Go back and check out the full videos. I sit in the back row on the assembly floor, so I get to see how session runs. Speaker Hasty presides over the session. But one man and his team run the chamber. That's the Sergeant at Arms, who's been there for 40 years, Wayne Jackson. He calls the House to order every session.
All rise. Quiet, please.
Not only does he keep the assembly members in order, he also may check the audience.
Excuse me. Thank you. You're killing me here.
But they remind us that they are people. They are human. Warm and inquisitive citizens.
Reading.
Encourage our young people to become involved.
Tasty.
Wayne has been in his position for nearly 40 years.
The people's house, you have to welcome the people. You know, it's that's what we do. You know, we're just, you know, we invite them in, and we have to be cordial to all of them. Yeah. How's your leg? Good. How long did you have to wait last night?
The next time you come to Albany to visit the assembly session, say hello to our Sergeant at Arms, Wayne Jackson. I got a chance to interview longtime member Denny Farrell, who's now retired, New York State Assemblyman from Harlem. He first got elected in 1974. At that time, he said he had to work to clean up the city and clean up Harlem from landlords, crime, and violence.
Problems. Folks were doing things they shouldn't do it to each other. When we had a lot of drugs, 60s, 70s, up until Dave Dinkins finally got enough money, came up here, begged, borrowed everything to get more money.
Then Denny speaks about the food of his Jamaican roots.
Food, I don't know, I eat it. The curry goat with a little ball of bones. I grew up with a bottle on the table with the Scotch bonnet. I don't know if you've ever seen a Scotch bonnet or tasted one. If you tasted it, you'd remember. You'd have a hole in your mouth. And what they used to do is they take a bottle, put vinegar in, put vegetables in, and then put the Scotch bonnet in. And for the next 10 years, you could do that every year. They'd add to it. Just leave it in there. Don't touch it. Because if you ate that, that would kill you. It was so hot. That's the Jamaican thing. And then there was patties.
Over the past few generations, there have been a number of notable public officials from Southeast Queens. However, everyone agrees that there is only one dean.
I first ran for, as I can recall, that's like ancient history, you know. The first I ran for state committee, I think it was 1966, 67. I ran for district leader in 1968.
Archie Springer was first elected to public office in 1968, where he served as the state committeeman and district leader in Southeast Queens, a post that he currently holds almost 50 years later. He then was elected to city council as the first black elected city councilman in Southeast Queens for the 27th City Council District. Like I said, I sit in the back of the chamber, and I get a chance to listen to the stories of longtime Assembly member Joe Lentol, Mr. Brooklyn himself.
Al Farrell, who had hit a homer for the Dodgers' final run in the 1953 series against the Yankees, does it again.
Well, you know, you're in Brooklyn, you grow up a Dodger fan, and my heart was broken when the Dodgers moved out of Brooklyn to Los Angeles. So I didn't even have a life after that. I hated it, especially without baseball, because also growing up in Brooklyn, you grow up to hate the Yankees because they always beat us. Up until 1955 when we got our revenge, you know? And Johnny Padres was the pitcher. I think he won 3 games in that World Series.
There's been a Lentol in Joe's seat since 1918.
Grandfather was elected in 1918 and served only 2 years, 2 one-year terms. So he was the Lentol who was here the least. I ran for office in 1972. And that was the year that my father became a judge. In 45 years, you can imagine I've chaired some pretty important committees. So, you know, especially in labor and government employees.
Joe has many accomplishments, but he tells us the only way to do it is his way.